There's a moment that most men fear. It's not heartbreak, it's not rejection, it's not failure. It's waking up one day and realizing no one is checking in on you, no one is calling, no one is texting. There are no plans, no distractions, just you. And in that silence, you feel something deeper than loneliness. You feel exposed, not to the world, but to yourself. And that's exactly where your transformation begins. This video is not for the man who needs validation. It's for the man who's done explaining himself. It's for the man who's tired of chasing, performing, pretending, and finally ready to sit with himself and become something unshakable. Let's talk about why silence, solitude, and walking alone might be the best thing that ever happened to you. Point 1. Stillness is where the real battle begins. Every man is tested, but not in the crowd, not in front of a woman, not at work. You're tested when it's dead quiet, no distractions, no noise, no one watching. That's when the real voices start to rise. The regrets you've buried, the fears you hide behind success, the questions you never answer out loud. Am I living right? Have I become the man I said I would? It's uncomfortable. And that's the point. Silence isn't your enemy, it's your mirror. And most men can't stand what they see, so they run, back to distractions, back to chaos. But the man who stays, who faces it without flinching, he's the one who gets free. Point 2. You're not lonely, you're under construction. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. Most people confuse the two. You're not lonely because you're without company. You feel lonely because you've never sat still long enough to know who you really are. But here's the truth. Solitude isn't a void, it's a forge. It's where men are sharpened, where patience is built, where self-trust is formed. You're not being left behind, you're being pulled back, to be launched further. Stop looking at this season like you're broken. Start seeing it like you're being rebuilt. Point 3. The strongest men have nothing to prove. Think about this. The loudest guy in the room, he's usually the weakest. The man who constantly needs to be seen, heard, praised, is the one who's still searching for approval. But the man who spent time alone, he doesn't perform. He doesn't need to prove he's valuable. He just knows. You want power? Stop announcing your worth. Start living like you already have it. When a man walks into a room and doesn't need to be noticed, he becomes the one everyone notices. Point 4. Silence builds unbreakable standards. You want to know why you keep tolerating low-quality people, weak relationships, fake energy? Because you haven't spent enough time alone to realize how peaceful life can be without them. Once you taste true peace, your tolerance for chaos drops to zero. Solitude teaches you the power of no. No to drama. No to fake friends. No to women who don't respect your value. And the best part? You no longer explain that no, because your peace doesn't come with an apology. It comes with silence and standards. Point 5. Attention is cheap. Energy is expensive. Most men chase attention like it's gold. She liked your post. Someone texted you back. Someone invited you out. But here's the secret. Attention isn't value. It's a currency people throw around when they're bored. But your energy, that's your investment. That's your power. Once you master solitude, you stop giving your energy to anyone who just offers attention in return. You start filtering, you become selective, and your life levels up not because you get more, but because you accept less from people who don't match your frequency. Point 6. When you stop reaching, they start noticing. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing her, she starts thinking about you. The moment you stop proving yourself, people start respecting you. When you finally pull your energy back, you trigger curiosity, reflection, even regret. But none of that matters if you're still doing it for them. You don't master silence to get a reaction. You do it because you've grown tired of giving your best to people who didn't deserve it. When your validation comes from within, everything external becomes optional. Point 7. Most men are addicted to noise, not growth. Scroll, swipe, refresh, repeat. That's the cycle. A loop most men live in without even knowing it. They wake up and reach for noise, anything to avoid hearing their own thoughts. But growth doesn't come from motion, it comes from reflection. You don't need more content, you need more inner clarity. Turn off the podcast, Put the phone down, sit with your own voice. You'll be surprised at how loud your truth really is when you finally give it room to speak. Point 8. Detachment isn't cold, it's focused. Some people will call you cold for pulling back, for being quieter, for not needing to explain your every move. Let them. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming clear. You're not detaching to punish anyone, you're detaching to protect what's sacred, your peace, your vision, your energy. Because when you're clear on where you're going, you don't entertain what pulls you off track. Detachment isn't avoidance, it's alignment. It means you finally understood this one truth. You don't need to control anything, you just need to control yourself. So here's what I want you to understand. That silence you're sitting in right now, it's not a punishment, it's a gift. It's an invitation to level up in a way the world won't understand until they see the man you've become. If this hit home for you, drop built-in silence in the comments. Subscribe, share this with a brother who needs to hear it. And remember, the loudest men chase attention, but the most powerful ones, they disappear for a while and come back undeniable.